The top stories. Scholar says USA should be part of solving issues Ethiopia is facing. And Jamaican-born says Africa should emulate Ethiopia's diaspora challenge. Hello, many thanks for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said that he had fruitful conversation with presidents of Senegal, South Africa and Democratic Republic of the Congo. My appreciation to President Macky Sall of Senegal, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa and President Felix Tshisekedi of the DRC for the constructive phone discussions, Abiy tweeted. The Prime Minister also underlined Ethiopia's commitment to cementing its bilateral and continental ties with those countries. We will continue working on strengthening bilateral and continental relations, he said. In a related development, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed today discussed with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and the African Union Commission Chairperson Moussa Faki Mahamat. The PM said, as a founding member of both the UN and African Union, Ethiopia has been a proponent of multilateralism rooted in respect for national sovereignty. Quote-unquote, I have held productive phone discussions with Antonio Guterres and Moussa Faki Mahamat on current issues, Abiy tweeted.
Ethiopia, 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 Ethiopia. Ethiopia, ቅድስት ሀገሬ የብሔር አምባሳደር ታሪካዊ ነች እናታችን ሁሉም ሙሉ ነው በቤታችን ዞር ብለን እንይ ሌላ እያለችን ዋርካ መጠለያ ይለወጥ ስሟ የሀገራችን በስራ ጥረት በክንዳችን ስቃይ በስቷል ፈተናሽታቷል ስቃይሽ በስቷል ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሬን ምድራዊ ገነት ለበጎ ይሁናይ ስቃይ መብዛት አንቺስ ድህነት ስቃይ መብዛት ኋላ ቀርነት
You're watching Addis News Hour. The Government Communication Service Minister, Legesse Tulu, says the terrorist TPLF has now failed to cover up its humiliating defeat with false propaganda. The minister, in a press briefing, stated that Ethiopians have registered vibrant victory in the operation that has been led by the Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The enemy that has received the defeating blow has been fleeing in disarray in all fronts. Ethiopians have come together for the operation, led by outstanding leadership, backed by effective use of advanced technologies. The government is working to restore development infrastructure and administrative work in the areas that have been liberated so far. The minister has also called on organizations and partners to support the rebuilding and restoration work after the horrible destruction committed by the TPLF invading forces in different parts of the country. Dozens of protesters gathered outside the CNN building in Los Angeles, decrying CNN's fake news. The demonstrators have accused the Biden administration of supporting the terrorist group TPLF. This is what RT produced. Take a look.
We do not negotiate. We know who we are.
Stop misinformation. Stop misinformation. CNN fake news. CNN fake news. CNN fake news. CNN fake news.
Stop supporting terrorists. Stop fake news. Stop fake news. Stop fake news. Stop fake news. Stop the lies.
Stop the lies.
Stop supporting TPLF. Stop supporting TPLF. Stop.
Ethiopia,
terrorists! Stop supporting terrorists! Stop supporting terrorists! Stop supporting terrorists! No more fake news!
The UN reiterates continued support for humanitarian and rehabilitation efforts in the northern part of Ethiopia. The UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Ethiopia, Catherine Sozi, has also appreciated the government's efforts in this regard. This was disclosed at a press briefing on the update of the humanitarian assistance situation in the northern part of Ethiopia. Kazaun Chane tells you more.
Thank you for coming for today's press conference.
Ethiopian National Disaster Risk Management Commissioner Matuku Kasa, alongside United Nations Ethiopia-based humanitarian assistance coordinator Catherine Sozi, gave a media brief on the situation of the updates of humanitarian assistance in Ethiopia. Accordingly, Commissioner Matuku Kasa underscored that the government of Ethiopia has been exerting efficient delivery to the war-affected areas.
The government of Ethiopia has been exerting relentless effort to organize a number of consultative meetings with partners through holding productive discussion with the view to alleviate hurdles and obstacles that hindering efficient and effective delivery of human assistance to the region.
UN Resident Coordinator and UN Humanitarian Coordinator in Ethiopia, Dr. Catherine Sozi, on her part, remarked that Ethiopia's government attempt to deliver support to the war-affected areas was very great.
The resource requirements are immense, and it is important that we acknowledge the continuous support of government, of our donor partners, and the humanitarian partners themselves.
Catherine Sozi reiterates the commitment of the organization to support Ethiopia in addressing challenges in the delivery of aid and rehabilitation of the displaced in Ethiopia.
There are at least 4 million displaced people across the country. Ethiopia also hosts the third largest refugee population in the continent of Africa. So the UN, the United Nations, together with our humanitarian partners, we remain committed to addressing these growing needs and finding urgent and sustainable solutions in a complex environment.
The Commissioner also told the media that those some partners demand the government support, the government will undertake its efforts to further ensure the delivery of humanitarian aid.
Some partners deliberately undermine and ignore the recent relentless effort of the government in denying the real measures that have been taken to boost Gumata supplies to Tigray region. Significant measures have been taken to boost the efficiency and effectiveness of food and non-food delivery to Tigray region, such as reducing the number of checkpoints from 7 to 2, extension of visa from 1 month to 3 months, blanket approval of travels of partners, approval of communication material, carrying cash through flights from Addis to Mekelle twice a week, and strong coordination are the key measures that tremendously improve the delivery of humanitarian assistance to the region. Despite these combined efforts and recorded achievements,
a scholar says Ethiopia's current remarkable victory against the terrorist TPLF has a great message going beyond the country to all African nations. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Ethiopia has continued terrorizing the people by spreading misinformation and fake alert to its citizens, the scholar noted. Shifarao Lago interviewed him, and Goshu Melliso presents the story as follows.
It has been a while since Ethiopia was forced to wage battle against the terrorist TPLF after its treacherous act that had been committed against the Northern Command, and now this invading TPLF force is fleeing in disarray, unable to withstand the brave soldiers of Ethiopia.
This is not the conflict that is taking.
In an exclusive interview with ETV, the political science scholar from Wolkite University says Ethiopia's current remarkable victory against the terrorist TPLF has a great message for all African countries.
This is a victory that takes Ethiopia people to the highest position. Like it will take back Ethiopia to its own glorious period, like what we have done, for instance, in Adwa, in the Battle of Adwa. I can say that this is the second battle of Adwa. So if you critically understand the importance of Battle of Adwa for African people, and then this also have another that's kind of benefit for all African nations.
The scholar underlined that the U.S. Embassy in Ethiopia is terrorizing its citizens, spreading fake alerts to evacuate, even though Addis Ababa is peaceful and calm.
The problem that we are facing today is hybrid warfare. So we can say that this is a continuation of that part of warfare. If we really have a critical assessment what is happening in Addis now, I can say that I can barely say that the active terrorist in Addis is Addis Ababa, U.S. Embassy. There is no security problem. Everyone is, life is going on normal way. Everyone is doing its activity. But day in, day out, within, like there is a kind of paste copy activity. There is no change in terms of words if you look at the alerts of American Embassy. So I can say the active potential source of terrorists in Addis is American Embassy itself.
He also underscored that the terrorist TPLF has committed crimes amounting to ethnic cleansing and genocide, so accountability must be held with international law, crime against humanity.
The crimes that are committed are very savage that amount to crime against humanity, genocide. It also includes ethnic cleansing. So they have committed the international crimes that are considered that a crime against humanity. Now, if really we have independent institution, I can say that there is no credible information done in Ethiopia to fight crime against humanity. If really we have international institutions stand for humanity, crime against humanity is actually committed in Amhara region, in Afar region. If you remember the attack that is, in Galikoma, in most part of northern Wallo, and then to this, Shawa. Therefore, the crimes that the report coming from the area showed that there is a credible evidence that TPLF is committed a crime that amounts to crime against humanity.
The terrorist group leaders are spreading lies in rhetoric of planned withdrawal to mask their loss.
No more! No more! No more intervention! No more intervention! No more! No more terrorism! No more terrorism!
As the Ethiopian Christmas holiday is upon us, Ethiopians in the diaspora are being challenged to come home for Christmas. 1 million diaspora by January 7th, 2022.
Many fear the U.S. will intervene in the year-long fight in their country. Government troops from the rebels. Protesters tell us the rebel group known as the TPLF is Ethiopia for many years.
That government is no longer in power and my family's free and living in freedom. They get to speak as they want about the government.
The State Department called
We want that policy to change. We wanted to strengthen Ethiopia and support economic and regional security.
They get support from US actually.
This is the time to stand up and say, nope, Africans can solve their problems by Africans.
Welcome back again. A Jamaican-born friend of Ethiopia loaded the Diaspora Homecoming Challenge. Talking to ETV English here today, Desta Mego said the call should also apply to other Africans who have joined the popular #NoMore campaign en masse and expressed solidarity with Ethiopians. A creative consultant, curator, and cultural promoter based in Ethiopia since 2005, Desta Mego also serves as liaison to the AU for the Ghana-based Diaspora African Forum. She said the #NoMore movement, which reverberated throughout the globe, creating an opportunity for Africans to denounce undue foreign interference and solidify the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Here is an excerpt of her reflections while sitting with our staff reporter, Jerusalem Betzaha. Take a look.
I am Dr. Desta Megu, also known as Mama Desta. First of all, I'm a mother to 10 incredible children, 14 grandchildren, and about 1,000 here in Ethiopia that we've raised over 16 years. I am a creative consultant living in Addis Ababa for the last 16 years. The African diaspora has to put their money where their mouth is. Get that ticket, come home. You know, it's not just going to be an economic injection, but it is going to be, again, an act of solidarity, an act of pride, an act of assurance and confidence of the safety. I just got home 2 weeks ago. And I remember the day I was landing, that's where saying, oh, you know, the government of America put out that, you know, planes landing were at risk and everything. It was perfectly fine. And it has been perfectly fine. I've lived here for 16 years. Addis Ababa is safe, it's peace, everything is going on. Yes, we're concerned and we know what's happening. We're not in denial, but we're also not going to create a scenario that doesn't exist. This city, this country is on the verge of a great, great, great victory and a great renaissance, as I said before. And the assistance from the African diaspora to answer the call for this homecoming will be the biggest statement that we can make to the world. And it's not just the Ethiopians that have been invited home. It's all Africans. So I know Jamaicans who are coming in. I know Ghanaians who are coming in, Kenyans who are coming from all over because we consider Ethiopia home. This entire continent was once called Ethiopia. So it's the right time to come. Time for Ethiopians to, dare I say, wake up and rise up and recognize who we are, because it's a two-sided coin. One side of the coin is blocking the interventions and standing up to foreign powers to protect sovereignty and to protect integrity of the country. The other side is internal. It's for us now to identify who we are and be proud of ourselves as Ethiopians and as Africans who were creating civilization before Europe was civilized, before there was an America, which is barely 200 something years old. So it's time for us to assert who we are on the international stage. Just like Pan-Africanism, it's no longer just an ideology. Now we have to look at practical application, and that's what the world, the black world, is coming to again. Just as we did in 1963 when Emperor Haile Selassie called all the African heads of states right here to Addis Ababa. So it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end, where Ethiopia again galvanizes Ethiopia and the black world for victory for us all. We have to think of ourselves as true Pan-Africans. And as true Pan-Africans, we have the ability to utilize the hospitality and the platform of Ethiopia as the diplomatic capital of the world to express what this means. You know, we'll be opening the Pan-African wing at the Institute of Ethiopian Studies at Addis Ababa University in a couple of weeks. It's the one space in this continent that looks at how Ethiopia is at the center of Pan-Africanism, from the Battle of Adwa to the No More campaign. Ethiopia is a central point. And right now, if we link arms together as Pan-Africans, we will protect not just Ethiopia, but the integrity of the entire continent. And this is, again, how we refute what the West is doing. Because we're not trying to engage in battle with them. Our concentration must be on the ball. Our concentration must be on Ethiopia. And this is how we will always win, by doing our job and not even worrying about
TPLF has committed lots of atrocities while it invaded Kombolcha town of the Amhara regional state. The violent act of looting and damaging of the Kombolcha General Hospital is a case in point here. In addition to the human rights violations in the town, the group has robbed and damaged the hospital, according to the hospital's emergency room coordinator. This act is in strong violation of the Geneva Convention 1949, Article 18, which says civilian hospitals organized to give care to the wounded and sick, the infirm and maternity cases may in no circumstances be the object of attack, but shall at all times be respected and protected by the parties to the conflict. In business, Addis Ababa hotels have prepared themselves to cordially welcome the 1 million Ethiopian diaspora and friends of the nation with special packages and affordable services, according to Addis Ababa Hotel Owners Association. According to Addis Ababa Hotel Owners Association, hotels in the capital are preparing to provide standard services to the diaspora and Ethiopian friends. Association General Manager Ammaha Bekele told ENA that the association has discussed the preparations with more than 175 hotels, including star-rated hotels. With this, he said, hotels have been undertaking activities, preparing special packages to provide services to all guests. In addition to providing packages, Ammaha said, activities are also underway to make hotels more affordable for incoming guests. Finally, he called on all residents of the capital to carry out their responsibility in cordially welcoming the expats with the Ethiopian culture of hospitality. And finally, the 7th edition of the Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa came to a climax in Senegal this week. The forum had witnessed several meetings and debates among experts and authorities with the aim of finding solutions to the violence caused by terrorism and conflicts in the region, as well as finding solutions to the crisis caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Political instability and its consequences for the peace in the region were among the topics discussed at the forum, which opened on Monday. Several leaders, including South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, Niger President Mohamed Bazoum, and African Union Chairperson Moussa Faki Mahamat, attended the two-day forum. You're watching Addis News Hour. A quick reminder of the day's headlines. Scholar says USA should be part of solving issues in Ethiopia. And Jamaican-born says Africa should emulate Ethiopia's diaspora challenge. And that's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha Germany. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and take care.